Most of the time when I start my day really early, I get up and then I'll have my coffee. I've been using the Lumen for the last month. This was given to me to try out to see how it affects my life in terms of nutrition. I was like, let me try this out first before I do anything about it. So you wake up in the morning, you take this, you breathe in, it gives you a meter. I'll actually show you guys how it works. You breathe out and then it'll tell you what your body is currently using for energy. And then it'll give you a diet based on the results. So if your body's burning a ton of carbs, then your day will probably look like more fats with lower carbs and whatnot. So you're not overfilling your glycogen stores, because when we overfill the glycogen stores, it gets put into fat. So for the last month, I've been on set for a feature film. I'm an actor, I do my own stunts as well too. So I told the director, hey, the effects of this character look better the leaner I am. What do you think? And he's like, if that's gonna help the character basically do that if he can. I'm like, for sure. So coincidentally, at the same time I got the Lumen, I'm like, let me see if this thing actually works. It basically gives you your diet, your goals, and then based on what you breathe in terms of like what it measures, then it'll give you your diet based on that being in a caloric deficit. So it's your diet that's doing the work. So along with my diet and my cardio, this has actually helped me be leaner and staying in shape and whatnot. You open up your Lumen app and then take this thing off, your lid, you turn your Lumen on down here, lights up, and Johnny's Lumen is on. I don't know if it's like, you can actually see this or not, but hopefully you can. I'm ready.
Inhale deeply through your Lumen. Hold your breath. Exhale in 3, 2, 1.
All right. So it says right now that my body's burning 45% fat and 55% carbs. So then I say, next, how many grams of carbs did you have yesterday? My carbs yesterday were pretty low and I had carbs late at nighttime. So 75 to 114. So what time did you eat last? I ate late at night. So now it's gonna check and then it's gonna do the work here. Let's see my diet. So my first meal is gonna give me 12 grams of carbs, 51 grams of fat, and then 33 grams of protein. That's my first meal. Now, if I want to do these options, like to give you an actual meal, which is pretty dope, if you don't have these ingredients, then you can just follow the macronutrient recommendations and then go on your day. So my morning's pretty busy, so I'll usually do this like right before I go train Carol in the morning because I train with her, and then I'll use the pre-workout. So basically I'll take my measurements then, or I'll just take it when I get home. So when I'm done training, there's also the part in the app where you can be like, take your measurements pre-training, post-training, morning, before a meal. So it kind of gives you a range. Now, you're not gonna breathe in this and you're gonna all of a sudden lose weight. You still have to do the work. So it's gonna give you the recommendations. You gotta follow it. It'll put you to deficit, right? So that's remember, the grand scheme of things, the Lumen helps you stay on your diet. Being in a deficit, that's how you lose weight. Now for me, because I know a lot of these things, I will change some of the recommendations that are in there. For most people, I would say just looking at this thing, good to follow because it's going to give you proper macronutrient recommendations based on your goals, your height, weight, yada yada. But for me, like I'll change, like when I see the protein sometimes for my entire days of protein is too low, I will increase my protein. So you can even do that in the app. You can basically adjust a few things that make sense for you. So for me, I'm going to stick to 101 grams of protein per body weight, and then the recommendations for the carbs and fats, I will take those recommendations and just go follow it. So again, it helps you stay on track. It doesn't make you lose weight or fat whatsoever. You have to actually follow through with what it does. So if you want to give the Lumen a try, go to lumen.me/Johnny or hit the link in the description below for 15% off. Having said all that, I'm gonna have my first meal is gonna be scrambled eggs with feta cheese and some greens. I've always said this before, have some go-to meals. Like learn how to cook a couple things. You know, that's gonna be your best chance to being able to stay on a diet. Because if you don't have that skill by the slightest, it makes dieting or staying on track hard. Because if you can't cook, you're relying on someone else to cook for you, or worse, you'll just run off somewhere and get food. Now it comes to actually like stuff like this, like feta cheese, we'll measure it because it's just, I know eggs pretty easy, 70 calories per egg. This would be around, I would say like 60 calories. So my first meal, 4 eggs, feta cheese, and some strawberries, first meal. So today on the menu, I am basically gonna film this, eat my meals. My daughter's going to her cousin's birthday, so usually today is daddy-daughter day. Today we usually do we'll go to a movie, we'll hang out, get treats. Just a full day to get together, which is super fun. We used to drive our bike. She has a little Power Wheel. So Sundays we go for a Power Wheel run. So she'll drive and I jog behind her. And we start our day, but today is actually crummy. It's raining outside. I'm actually doing some cardio, helps with my hip a bit. I'll plan out the rest of the week in terms of like filming and content related stuff. And I have like a small team, my brother and 2 other editors that help with producing content. And that's it. If I'm like super busy in the morning and I know I'm in and out, I'll have a big shake. This came with some really good protein from Blue Star. Basically has caffeine in the shake, really good. So you can make it in the morning. It's super dope. We have double chocolate, and then we'll try triple chocolate, and then the regular flavor. And it is awesome. So I usually do that if I'm rushing off. That's my first meal. I have like a scoop and a half of protein with a heaping spoon of like almond butter. Again, depending on how things work in the morning. And then I'll have fruit with it, and almond milk, or even 1% milk. And that'll be like my quicker meal. I just finished doing some cardio while listening to the $100 Million Offer book. My hunger is not at the highest, but I know I need to eat. We're gonna do ISO smooth, and then peanut butter, some frozen bananas, and then milk. So I got some 2% milk today. I was usually like a 1% I drink it. We didn't have any, I was just like, we need milk. I went and grabbed some milk, and yeah. If you're gonna use these guys, you wanna make sure that you put the powder in first, yoink, and a little more, there's my half. Now you're gonna put the milk in. There you go. From there, obviously, what's gonna cause the most commotion in here will be this, and then this will take up a little more room as well. So we're gonna go with actually probably about 30 grams. Just give you an idea. For me, I like to make it a tiny bit sweeter. So I'll put a little bit of half of the sweetener in. Do that. This is like, it's not like one of those super thick ice cream shakes. It's a good, filling, hearty shake. Finish this, getting my day ready for the next day. Okay, so I totally forgot this weekend is Rib Fest. And I was like, shoot, I gotta go to Rib Fest. So my only meal I had today basically was what I showed you this morning already in my shake. And then I'm gonna have this. I'm gonna eat a lot of food. I need some leftovers a little bit later on. But I'm just gonna really just eat a bunch of protein. And I'm gonna have, I'll have probably a serving of mac and cheese, right? I know that's, that's basically like balance for me, right? Being able to do that, and then like, obviously there's gonna be sauce on it and whatever, but like I have about, I don't know, 2,000 calories of food left. All right, so we have mac and cheese, full rack of ribs, and a half a chicken. I forgot my favorite place with cheesecake is here, Antoinette's Cheesecake, and she has this like dip cheesecake. It's like cheesecake on a stick, and you dip it in chocolate. And it's got chocolate cheesecake on a stick, and it's just delicious. So I'm gonna have that for sure. It's just covered in it. Oh my! All right, that is the end of my day. And obviously that's not a full day of eating for me. Things just happened to organically go the way they did, and good thing, because I almost forgot Rib Fest. Now, here's something to take away from this. My goal isn't to show the world that I'm a bodybuilder and I only eat chicken, broccoli, and rice. It's to show that once you have those things under control, your nutrition, meaning you're eating enough food, your body fat is in a healthy percentage, right? You're active, you're moving, you're running, whatever, you're training, you're doing those things. That is a big part of your life. Then, when you get to that point that you're trying to achieve, when trying to get to those goals you're trying to achieve, losing fat and, having a sustainable lifestyle. When you get there, you should be able to have the things that you've wanted before. You just know what and how much to actually have. Maybe before it was hard for you to just have, just one thing, and now you probably can. And usually at the end of your journey, that's what it is. Because the self-control doesn't necessarily come from you being like, I'm not gonna eat that food. It's your priorities start to change. You're starting to really, really put more weight and priority into your training, into your health, you know, that takes precedence over a craving. And that's usually what it is. And that's what it is for me as well too. For me, it's like, it's not like I have this self-control where I can not eat certain foods and I can sit there and manage my thoughts. No, it's just like this. I like being in shape more than I like not being in shape. And that's all there is. It makes it easier to make the right decisions. So for me, I didn't eat the full meal. I only had the ribs, and then I had the chicken and half of the macaroni and cheese because I knew that I wanted to have the cheesecake after. And I had the little piece of cheesecake. I had to, right? And then the next day, it's back to status quo. So that's what I want you guys to understand. That's where you want to go. That's why counting your calories and understanding macronutrients at the start will help you be able to enjoy life. Do I think you should have barbecued ribs on the way down for your fat loss journey? If you can go and say you're in a deficit and you can mix your foods around so you can leave yourself room to have whatever you can actually have that will keep you in a deficit, go right ahead. But if it's going to be something that makes you crave more, you don't have control after, you know you're not going to, then no. And it's the same thing for anyone, doesn't matter what the journey is being able to prioritize and make those decisions based on what you feel is more important. At the end of the journey here, or I would say, when you reach your goals, it's living a sustainable lifestyle that you can enjoy and balance. Anyway, I'm going to bed.